I want to clarify a few things about discussion boards in general. And if you see the title of this slide, I was planning on putting it as part of week two assignments, but I want to put this as a separate video, just so everybody can understand that discussion boards are online discussions. There's something called in education the Socratic method. And one way you learn things is by having the professor ask questions and the students engage each other in a conversation. That's the way the philosopher Socrates is reputed to have worked. And there's something that you learn a lot by discussing things with people who have different opinions. And especially in online courses, we don't have the face to face communication that you would in a classroom, but the people who have developed things like Blackboard uh, that help us frame online classes have come up with these discussion boards. In fact, when the computer era started, most of you will not know this, but there were these things that they used to call bulletin boards that people would kind of post things and post notices, post responses, and or message boards, and they used to actually have conversations online in this way. And I'm talking about long before the internet was very popular. But discussion boards are a very important part of education, whether it's online or not. And I just want you to understand in my class, virtually, I say all discussion boards require you to respond to classmates. It's probably a good idea in all of them, other than one that I could think of. So the requirement in general is that you respond to classmates. So the idea being, if the assignments are due on Friday, do not put your discussion boards in on Friday, but you need several more days. If that's not working for you, if I have to come up with some other mechanism, let me know and I'll think about it and we'll discuss it to figure out how to do it. But the idea is you're supposed to put some comments in. And since this is asynchronous online education, by asynchronous, it means that it's not that we're doing this, let's say, through Zoom, a Zoom conference that everybody's going to be on and see each other and talk to each other, but rather you're going to put things that you've written online for other people to read. They're going to comment, and you're going to come back and comment. This can take a few days. So the idea is to get the discussion boards in, or your first response in early, so you can come back and make other responses to them. By the way, I'll be deducting points from your answers or giving you a lower score if you don't reply to other people. Now, the question is, what are replies, or what should a reply be doing? And replies are supposed to point out somewhere or something that you think that the person that you're replying to has made a mistake. Maybe you agree with their ultimate point, their conclusion, but you think that they haven't gotten there in the right way. That's something. Maybe you have a better reason. Maybe they've missed something, whether you agree with them or not. Or maybe you totally disagree, but it's worthwhile in a civil fashion. We're supposed to be learning how to respond to our, you know, to other people in society, in this case, our classmates. In general, my guidance for Kingsborough students is to write more rather than less. Think about math courses that you've taken. Okay, now everybody turn their brains off, turn them back on. I know a lot of people out there hate math. But think about the way they want to find out if you understand the math. They ask you to show the work. It's not just a multiple choice question to get the right answer, because in math, if you get the wrong answer, they want to give you a lot of credit if you had to take a lot of steps in solving a problem and you took the steps in the right way, but let's say you made an error in calculating in some kind of arithmetic in the process. They want to give you credit for that because that's the way you want to think about these things. Well, in our class, the answers are usually all controversial. There's no agreement, and I should tell you, in math and in science, when it comes down to current scientific issues, there is large disagreement on the research issues, the stuff that they teach you, especially in introductory classes. There's general agreement about. But in our classes, there isn't even general agreement about a lot of stuff, especially in my applied ethics courses. But it doesn't matter anything in philosophy. Usually, the stuff we're talking about, there's no general agreement. So the answer is not as important as your reasons for that you give for that answer and your process of reasoning. So you want to explain to someone else what that process of reasoning is all about. And just one note in terms of responding. I know when we all grew up, whoever took care or raised us as kids, we would ask a lot of questions. And usually, when we didn't want to do something that our parent or guardian was telling us, or whoever was taking care of us, and we'd say, "Why?" I hear that from my grandchildren all the time. Why? Or they don't like it. But why? When a parent says, "Because I said so," basically, the answer is, hey, just do it. I'm not sitting here explaining it to you. That's not what goes on, especially not in a philosophy class. It shouldn't be going on in any classes. It's not the answer that you give. And if some of my colleagues are telling you the answer is so important, I would take what they're telling you with a great deal of skepticism. But the answer why is you want to sit down and think. Part of it is think about these things. Think about if you take a position on the trolley example, the question whether you've decided to turn or not to turn. It's not that you had the right answer and the wrong answer. The question really is, why do you think that is the right answer? And what's interesting about it, I'll tell you actually what happens is some people agree on what the answer is, but agree for very different reasons, sometimes inconsistent reasons. So while maybe they think they're agreeing, there's really large disagreement, and there's a lot to be learned by this. So I'm saying take the discussion boards seriously. I'll give it some thought to figure out how we can do this, and because I'll be honest with you, the problem that I have is if I don't give you due dates, things will never come in. It is much, much, much more difficult for me to try to respond and to mark things consistently and fairly if I'm responding at different times. So I usually have to wait till you've finished the assignment to read all the answers in the class. But then if you're putting the answer in, if I'm going to start reading it on a Friday morning, let's say, and you're putting an answer in the wee hours of the morning on Friday or late Thursday night, that's not going to give you or may not give you time to respond. And it certainly is not giving you, your classmates, a chance to respond. So try to get this stuff done earlier than the deadline, because the idea is your initial response should go in 2 or 3 days before the response, before you're replying to other people and before they have a chance to reply to you. In addition to which, what I think is, and I will give extra credit for this, if people carry on a discussion right now, early on in the semester, because remember I'm talking about week 2 assignments, there isn't a lot of back and forth, or I haven't seen a lot of back and forth, at least this semester. And oftentimes I don't see a lot of back and forth. But the idea is if somebody replies to you, you might reply back to that person, explain to them where they've gone wrong. And it's helpful for everybody, and you learn a lot about that. But so much for discussion boards.